Good morning, 8th graders. This is Xanthos speaking, here to reiterate with you guys about FDR's New Deal. I just want to make clearly on what you guys have to do because some of you guys didn't seem to understand what you had to do last week, so I'm just going to make this a little bit more clear. So here we go. FDR's New Deal was basically to end the Depression, and there were three parts to it, basically. There was relief, recovery, and reform. Now, the thing with each of them is that each are different things. A lot of you guys like to talk about helping the poor, and that's what relief was. That was giving charity or giving assistance, such as soup, bread, things to help them because they can't eat because they don't have the money to afford it. It also gives them like some money to those who need to pay their rent, so that way they won't become homeless inside of like shanty towns. But it's not the same as like recovery. Recovery is not like about giving charity. It's all about creating programs to help businesses. And when businesses are doing well, that's when the overall economy is doing well. And that's what his recovery programs are. So if any thing that looks like it'll help a business out, that's a type of recovery. And as for reform, if you guys remember when we first started the Depression, we talked about how like increasing the stock market, people investing in debt and borrowing from banks and like investing so much into like the stocks ultimately led to a crash in the economy. And when the stock market crashed, everybody was like losing their businesses, losing their money. They couldn't pay back their debts. People were like having more debt than they could afford to pay back, and as a result, because of that, banks and businesses started shutting down, and as a result, the depression started. Reform means to change, hence the word reform, redo. And so what the you have to understand what the reform stuff is when they're trying to, FDR is putting regulations on businesses, because businesses, if he doesn't, then the businesses will do like the same mistake they did before. And this is unheard of in American history because as the land of opportunity and the free, people never liked the idea of the government interfering in their own private businesses. But FDR felt he needed to take a charge because people were suffering, and that's why people did not vote for Herbert Hoover, because he wanted to keep the governments out of like businesses deals and wanted like everybody to like look after themselves. FDR wanted to step in, and because people were desperate, they were able to like forget about their own personal liberties and resolve to basically like vote for him to like fix up their economy, let the government take charge for once. And so that's what he did, and that's what you guys have to analyze. And when you look at each document, you have to like choose: is this document an example of relief, is it an example of recovery, or is it an example of reform? They are one of the three. You have to choose one of the three, and you have to give an explanation. There is no neither, there is no both. It's one of them, and you have to choose one of the three for each document and explain it why. We're going to be doing this today, and we're going to be doing this on tomorrow. On Wednesday, we're going to have a quiz because we're done with the depression, and we're going to have a quiz on the Roaring Twenties and on the Great Depression. And once we're done with that, we're at long last going to arrive at the unit many of you were waiting for, World War II, which we're going to be starting on Thursday and Friday and continue on for the next few weeks afterwards. Thank you.